Today's event is a star-studded evening for Koel Purie's book launch, which was filled with a lot of fun and drama as they read and enacted few chapters.
Toe the line and stick to its job of pumping blood and keeping her alive. She couldn't bear it when it shouted out its presence, reminding her that her own existence was borrowed.
It was snowing lightly, and snow, like her, didn't belong in Paris. It would cover everything in its silvery splendor for 5.5 minutes, and then the locals would rail against the sludge it left behind. It was unshared, but now that it was here, it filled the room and she couldn't stop.
Koel Purie has been an actor, a TV presenter, and also a theatre artist who is currently debuting with her fiction, Clearly Invisible in Paris, describing the life of 4 women and their friendships and dark secrets.
Cut towards the middle of the book, and they are each other's greatest support. And it's funny because that's the thing, nothing is static in the world. And this is what the book is about. Everyone is allowed to change their mind and be different.
Us in real life, fanning into WhatsApp groups and hanging out together and doing girly holidays. Then there's the books, there's the movies, there's the OTT. Why do you think everyone is like, what is the season for female friendship suddenly being under the spotlight?
I'm the wrong person to answer this because I was telling someone, actually today in some interview, I was saying that my first proper girl gang was at the age of 11 and it still exists. It was called CAGS. Koel, Anu, Gayatri, Shalini, right? And we're still besties. So I'm a girl's girl. If I had a homosexual bone in my body, I'd be the happiest girl in the world. Unfortunately, I'm attracted to men. Really, it's unfortunate because women really tick every other box for me. They really do. Like, in terms of who do I dress for? I'm dressing for my girlfriends. Who do I want to hang out with and have a glass of wine? It's the girlfriends. Who do I want to go to when I'm in the depths of despair? It's not my husband. I love him. He's great. All those things. But it's not him I'm going to. It's my girlfriend across the globe that I'm calling.
Koel will be seen in Archie's later this year, which is a Zoya Akhtar's movie.
Women are occupying more places of power and in turn are empowering other women. I'm seeing this. Like I see powerful women just out there saying, yes, I'll support you. Yes, babe, I'll give you a helping hand because we've had so long, maybe not people like you and me who've been forthright and out there from the beginning, but for a majority of the women, it's been so long of being put on the sidelines, of not getting equal pay, of not getting the promotion, of not, that finally when women are in charge, they're like, no, you, because if you give it to a woman, I'm sorry, man, the job is just going to get done faster, more efficiently without all the excuses.
I'm with one of the most talented person who has acted over 100 movies, has a TV show on her back, and also a theatre person. And today she's debuting with her Clearly Invisible in Paris. And let's know her insights about her book and in the process what she has evolved into be as a new person.
Thank you so much for talking to me. So yes, I'm here with, it's my debut novel, Clearly Invisible in Paris. Actually, just writing this book, finishing it, is a real sense of, I can do this, I can get it done. But also for me, writing, I write for myself, So writing for me is like what you call your ikigai. It's the place that makes me feel most comfortable, it's the place where I can, all that noise and that angst in my head, in my heart, just comes to a standstill.
And you have been quite having a great body of work, but how are you able to balance such diverse careers and acing almost everything you do, from your talk show to like being an actress, and after all that, taking this step? How are you even balancing? Again, getting back to acting too. How are you balancing this?
You're very kind for saying that, I'm acing everything. Firstly, I'm not, because one just kind of gets through as best as they can. And most women who do a lot, and all of us women do a lot, because there's the home, there's this, no matter how amazing our partners are and they step in and we have family support and all that, the onus always lies on the mother, the woman of the house, to just keep the mental health, the happiness, the house running in practical terms, all of it, and then your careers, and then yourself. You can't just show up, you have to put your face on, you have to do all those things. So I don't believe that most of us are balancing or, what is that? We're just getting through. We're just doing the best we can, and every day, something or the other has to give. Something or the other has to. I'm doing this tour with Mummy's Dead, Long Live Mummy, my play. And my daughter is in Paris because she's got school, so there is that guilt of like, I should be there. She's just started a new school. But then there's guilt towards me. You're not exercising, you're not doing anything, but I'm doing so much for other stuff. Something or the other always has to give, right? And it's always for us women more, because we pick up the bigger part of the work, I think. And I don't balance anything. I just get through. I get through as best as I can, and really it's not the best. We just kind of, okay, over, done, next.
Where do you derive the strength to get over all these and still be able to do it?
I think from the actual work. So, or from whatever it is you're doing. So if it's about the book, it's from the actual enjoyment of the writing. If it's about the play, then it's the enjoyment of playing and the magic that happens between the audience and stage. It's that rush, that adrenaline, that feeling of accomplishment. And if it's being a mother or being a family person, then it's the love and the joy that you get from that. So something or the other replenishes you. Otherwise, why are you continuously doing it? And if you have to continuously do it because those are your circumstances or that is your need at that particular moment, then do it as efficiently, as quickly, as painlessly as you possibly can and get through to the other side.
Wow, that's a great thing to think about. How do we form the kind of envious people around or the enemies around as a support system?
I have been supremely lucky. I have always been surrounded by people who only empower. And more, I find women out of the blue, like, for instance, Miss Malini, who's, the OG blogger and influencer, etc. She has gone out of her way to support me, my book, my play now, and she is surrounded by women who support her. And I am surrounded by women who support me. Also men, but mostly women. So I don't think success alienates you. I think if you're successful and you're able to empower somebody else, it only makes you the bigger person. It only empowers you more. Because if they get successful, then it's an ecosystem of successful and accomplished people. So for me, I don't believe that. And especially living in France, more and more CFOs, heads of the top managerial positions, CEOs are women, Indian women. Whether it's NG, whether it's the luxury businesses like Cartier, Chanel, even gas and all those kind of things. They are women, and these women I have met. They are young women. Well, the idea of young keeps changing, but they are still women in their prime who are doing so much and who are helping other women, who are an inspiration. It's not just an Indira. Oh God, why is it Indira Nui? It's not just an Indira Nui. It's not a solitary person who is the inspiration. There are more and more examples. The more it becomes the norm, the easier it becomes for women to achieve that. So I don't believe that this idea of you're surrounded by enemies and if you become successful, there's jealousy, there's that. I'm sure there is that, but there's also the positive. And what should we do? We should focus on the positive. If you're already successful, focus on what's good around you.
Wonderful. And through your book, what are you telling us? Like, what is the essence that we can pick from your book?
I think I'm telling you that friendships are important, that everyone can be flawed, that everyone can once in a while feel like an outsider. But as long as we have hope, and as long as we have the hope that tomorrow will be better than today, and the day after that will be better than the day after that, and etc. As long as we have the hope, life will be okay.
And what message do you want to give aspiring individuals who are wanting to pursue a career like you in entertainment industry?
Go out there and do it. It's all well and fine saying that I want to be a writer and I'm dying to write, but you're not writing. Right. It's all well and fine saying I want to be an actor, but no one is casting me. Okay, put on a one-woman show. Do it in your colony. Do it in, some things will build. This play that I'm bringing now for an India tour, and I have money from Mahindra and money from Lalit and money from Y-Flow, etc. to do this play, started literally in my living room with a bunch of actors who loved the play and were doing it for free. It started like that. Just start. As a creative person, the most important thing to do is start.
Amazing. I think before I end up, I want to ask one more question. You have relocated, and today the world has become too small. And for people who are moving out, it's not difficult or it's not easy, but they are going through that. What makes your experience, if you can sum it up in 2 words, in what way you can sum up your experience of living in another country so that becomes a guidebook?
I think when you live in another country, you must imbibe that country's culture. You must imbibe how the country functions, and try to meet that and do what that is. Because let's say we have Americans in India and they live here, not just as tourists, then we want them to be able to eat our Indian food and understand our films and be part of what we call, is Indian. We don't want them to continuously be American. So similarly, you can't just be, okay, I am just going to impose my own culture and live in a foreign country. Don't just live in a ghetto. But at the same time, don't forget your essence. Be yourself. There is you can say there is a balancing act. So you have the balancing act of imbibing wherever you are, but also remembering who you are.
And before I let go, the last thing I want to ask is, being invincible, to where did you even start feeling visible, and where the root of this book and the thought of this book has arrived?
This is a very interesting question of when did I start feeling visible. I think we feel most visible by people who love us. And those people make us most seen. So whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's your children, whether it's people you work with, those are the people who see you the most, make you feel the most visible. And that's all we need.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the time, Koel, and wish your book reaches a lot more people.
And I wish you all come and see my play, Mummy's Dead, Long Live Mummy. It's going to Rangashankara and Prithvi. Had to do a little bit of promotion right there. Thank you.
Thank you. All the best.
You don't get to judge me. No, you don't. Motherfucker of a mothering fail if I ever saw one.